tayo sa historical, sa global context. As early as ancient times, 600 BC, meron ng progress sa science and technology. No? Experimental nga lang or trial and error. According to account, Egyptians introduced healing and metal tradition. So yung mga Egyptians, yung medicine nila ay trial and error. Ibig sabihin, pag itong herbal na to, nakagaling sa isang patient or may sakit, ire-record nila na ito yon, no? And then kapag nalason or namatay, i-classify nila ito na poisonous or hindi siya nakakagaling. Even Mesopotamians, no? They introduce pottery where they can preserve food. Itong chariots, introduce din ng Mesopotamians na namana ng mga Greeks. While Chinese, introduce compass na nakuha ng Westerns kung bakit mas nag-improve yung kanilang navigation power. No? In 600 BC to 500 AD, here comes Arabs and Chinese. No? Yung advent ng science. Greeks like Thales sa West naman, no? Pythagoras, Plato, Euclid, Archimedes worked with anatomy, zoology, botany, no? Astronomy, no? Sabi ni Thales, world is made up of water. Sabi naman ng philosophers, air, fire, atom, no? And then itong hanggang sa naging powerful ang Roman Empire, no? Then nag-fall ang Roman Empire, nakuha naman ng mga Arabs, no? Nung na-discover ng Arabs yung well-developed na discipline sa West, nakuha nila yung science and technology, no? Nagkameron din silang sariling philosophy, nagkameron din sila na medicine, zoology, botany, anatomy, no? And then, dito na-improve yung astronomy, mathematics, and medicine, particularly sa Iraq, no? Nakaranas sila ng golden age ng Islam, no? And then, sa China naman, kilala sila sa four great invention, no? Yung compass, gunpowder, paper making, and printing. Mahalaga sa kanila yung printing at paper making kasi in interpreting the history of the world, madali nating interpret ang accounts ng history kung writing, no, versus sa artifacts, remains, no, mga fossils, no, unlike sa writings, no, makikita nila yung characters noon or alphabet, ma-associate na nila yon, no, sa interpretation noon. And then during 1300s to 1600s, dito na yung Renaissance, yung arts, no, and modern. Between 600 to 1300, ito yung tinatawag na merong nag-exist na golden age of the church, no? And then nag-fall, and then here it comes yung pure reason, no? Mas lalong namayani yung science and technology at dito naganap yung scientific revolution, no? Pumasok dito engineering, yung printing dati during golden age of the church, ilan lang ang may Bible, no? Yung mga religious lang. And then if you want to have that particular book, kailangan i-rewrite na isang publisher or writer, and then mahal yung papel. Ngayon, nung na-invento sa China yung cheap process of printing, and then may production na, meron ng wooden press and metal letters, no? Mas naging present na sa madla ang books, ang printing. No? So, mas madaling nag-travel yung information, yung science and technology, yung discoveries. No? And then when 1715 to 1789, dito ni Enlightenment, no, mas lalong napalalim yung reason, no? Reason over faith, no? Dito na sila nakapagsulat ng books, essays, inventions, scientific discoveries, laws. Nandiyan na si Galileo Galilei, Kepler, Leibniz, Newton, no? And then Locke, who wrote essay concerning human understanding, combination of science and philosophy, no? And then nung 1760 to 1840, yung Industrial Revolution sa West, dito na na-introduce yung machinery, no? Yung combustion engine. Lalo nang nagkameron ng mass production, no? kasi meron ng engine, no? Textile, metallurgical industry, no? Sa Great Britain. May steam power na, may electricity, and then sa science naman, dito na na-introduce or na-discover yung microbes, viruses, nebulae, no? And then yung galaxies. Dahil sa pagdami ng mga production or needs ng society, dahil secured na rin sa food, no? Dumadami yung field, dumadami rin yung labor, no? And then dito na pumapasok yung division of labor. Andiyan na, may naka-focus sa production, sa marketing, sa science, sa research, no? And then during 21st century, dito na yung fourth industrial revolution, ang focus na ng contemporary world ay itong uh, information technology, no? Aside sa natural and physical sciences or social sciences, ang first world countries ay nakafocus na sa information technology. Tinatawag natin na artificial intelligences. You can try it using your phone, download Google Assistant, no? And then you can talk actually to Google Assistant and then magre-reply siya sa'yo. Parang si Siri, no? Meron din robotics, Internet of Things where all gadgets are connected sa internet and then you can command to turn off or on that appliance or gadget using your voice command, including genetic engineering, GPS, no? Netflix, and face recognition. Mapapansin natin, more on information siya. Proceed tayo sa historical accounts ng science and technology sa Philippines. As early as pre-Spanish, sabi ng mga historians, wala daw masyadong well-written pre-colonial accounts of Filipinos, no? Thanks to the discoveries sa Palawan, Batangas at Rizal, na discover dito yung artifacts 40,000 years ago, no? With simple tools, weapons, hunting wild animals, and gathering of foods. And then, bago dumating ang mga Spaniards, nakita nila yung uh, way of life ng mga Filipinos, no? Yung palamuti ng mga dato natin, may mga copper, gold, bronze. This made Spanish develop yung interest na sakupin ang bansa natin. No? And then minana din natin sa mga Chinese yung weaving ng cotton, agriculture, carving, pottery, smelting of metals, rice fields, no? Raising animals. And then during Spanish colonial period, they established schools, no? Formal schools, hospitals. They introduced research. But only few Filipinos had the chance to study, no? Kasi nga may bayad ang school system ng Spanish. Like Rizal, who's scientist, doctors, engineer, and journalist. No? And then if you want to become a professional, kailangan mo mag-travel abroad, no? Kasi during Spanish colonial period, o konti or walang nabibigyan ng chance na maging professional, no? So when American arrived after the Spanish occupation, uh, they introduced public education system. The reason why we have these state universities, national high schools, PNU, UP, Batangas State University, Cavite State University, no? Filipino takes the academe as Americans train Filipinos, they surrendered or turned over those offices or these professional posts, no? And the government, the American colonial government sponsored Filipinos who will become teachers, engineers, physicians, lawyers to study in US. And then TechBook or TESDA was established, no? To also address these skills. TechBook muna and then later on itong panahon na natin naging TESDA. And then 1940s, US left us with this arm in the government. They introduced Bureau of the Government Laboratories and naging Bureau of Sciences, and then naging National Research Council, then naging National Science Development Board, then later naging DOST. As we have discussed earlier, nagsanga-sanga rin ito no, yung DOST dahil dumadami na yung needs ng society and then nade-develop yung fields, no? So meron na itong Pag-asa, Philippine Atomic Commission, National Oil Company, Picard, no? And then FISAI. And then itong 21st century, though we are ranked 73rd out of 128 economies in terms of science and technology and innovation index, nagkaroon tayo ng chance na makapag-launch na microsatellite, no? Called Diwata 1 last 2016. The reason why meron tayong Project NOAA, no? Itong Project NOAA, nagagamit natin sa navigation, GPS ng local, pagtitrace ng landslide, o kailan magkaka-El Nino, La Nina, no? And then, I think, last year or 2019, nakapag-launch ulit tayo ng another microsatellite. So happen, hindi siya purely sponsored ng government. Ito ay dissertation ng isang Filipino scientist or astronomer na nag-aral sa Japan, no? Kasi sila ang mayroong applied physics, no, or astronomy. So dito sa paradigm shift, ang point ni Kuhn, siya isang philosopher, no? Mapapansin natin na when new discipline was developed, paradigm will be adjusted. No? Ito yung sa video, sa slide presentation. No? So yung pre-science, more on faith, philosophy, and then more on observation. And then when science or formal science was introduced, it is used by people, no? By humanity tayo. No? And then nagbe-benefit tayo doon. Pero as time goes by, people demands or needs change, nakakatanggap tayo ng crisis dun sa science na or sa discipline na yon. And it caused revolution to address that particular problem. No? And then yung product nun ay may change. No? May another phenomenon, may another discipline, may another field na may introduce. As time goes by, magiging normal siya sa atin or magiging part ng consciousness natin na ginagamit natin yung discipline na yon, meron ulit darating na challenges or demands or problema sa society. At ito yung magiging dahilan para mag-revise or mag-revisit ulit sa existing discipline, and then it will call for revolution and change ulit. I believe ito si Kuhn ay dahil siya ay philosopher, nakita niya tong wisdom na to kay Immanuel Kant, no, yung thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. So dito, yung current discipline natin, kapag may demand or change na nangyari sa society, yun yung magiging antithesis. It will challenge yung existing nating or pinanghawakan nating discipline, and it will produce another discipline, which is synthesis. Pero as time goes by, itong uh, new idea or field na na-develop natin, pag lipas ng panahon, magiging siya ulit thesis, and it will be questioned or challenged by another problem or phenomenon sa society, and then it will create another synthesis. So ibig sabihin sa field natin, there's an unending change. Sabi nga ni Pythagoras, change is the only thing that doesn't change. So ibig sabihin, itong inaaral natin ngayong field or program, later on magsasangasara nga rin siya and at dadami yung mga branches na yan. No? So ito yung point ni Kuhn, no, sa kanyang cycle.